Welcome, family and friends, to the new Total Faith Show. I am your host, Gene Groove Allen. You know me, I'm getting those digits. This is the place where everyone has a story, and right here we get to take that journey with them. Now, you're probably wondering, Gene, what do you got on? Why are you wearing a sweatsuit? Why are you wearing gazelles? Why are you wearing chunk jewelry? Well, I'm going to tell you. Today, TFN is really, really excited, and we are having a party and a ball. Today is our special hip-hop edition. We have a huge, huge giant in the house. I'm going to say it like this. Today's guest is very special to me and honestly to the hip-hop culture. Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Kanye West, who flourish in this musical culture. Our musical culture owes everything, and I'll say it again, everything to this man. In 1975, this gentleman would make his greatest contribution to the hip-hop world when he started rhyming syncopated to the breakdown of Love Is the Message. This was the first time introducing flows and giving birth to what would be known as the hip-hop style that we call emceeing. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. A lot of us wouldn't be here. My friend, my guest, and our family, Mr. DJ Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Hollywood. I can't speak. I'm speechless right now. You literally changed. You are called the father of hip hop.
By most.
And as humble as you are, as spiritual as you are, you don't go around wearing that moniker on your breast. You know, Tell me about the early beginnings.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God.
Amen.
And God is actually the creator of hip-hop.
There you go.
I'm just a vehicle that he used to expose it to the masses so that we could stop doing some of the dumb things we were doing at that particular time in life and giving life to those who are not really educated, to give power to folks that don't have a college degree, that don't have necessary items that can push them forward except their street knowledge, and thus taking that street knowledge and making it a powerful vehicle. The Word is, oh man, just unexplainable how deep that is.
Tell me, what was your introduction to music?
My introduction to music was, I'm 6 years old, and my mother's telling me, go put records on. And we had a hi-fi, I might want to add, where you could take 6 or 7 45 records, put them on a spindle, cross the T with the top, and those records would drop one after the other. Yep. Now, I don't know what I'm putting on. I'm just doing what my mother asked.
Okay.
When a record would fall and it started playing, everybody at the table is getting, oh, yeah, they feeling it. And then a record dropped and it was the wrong side. And everybody in the room was like.
So you read the room. You were reading the room then, actually.
Well, I'm saying I had to be involved in what was happening because I'm playing the records to keep it moving.
Okay.
So at 6 years old, I developed taste. And I had no idea that that led to this, but my mother pushed me down that road, and I went for it, and I never came back.
When you said taste, what was your 6-year-old ears hearing that made the crowds move and did move?
I put the records on because she asked me to. I didn't know what record I was putting on.
Okay, okay.
The records were laid all over the place. Get those records, stack them up, put them on, bap.
Okay, and if some didn't move, the crowd.
If a record fell and nobody knew the record and nobody got a movement out of it, my mother was, boy, reject that record. So I would hit the button and reject it, which showed me not to play that record again.
And you put it.
I made sure I knew what that record was, so
Yes.
I would not put that record back on
Okay.
again ever.
Okay.
So it showed me to play records that most people are gonna like. I think it's very hard to please everybody.
True.
But when you could do most people, that's when your game is looking pretty good.
Well, you know, I had the great pleasure of listening to you play most recently at the TFN Gala. And I have to admit, you know, you had everybody up dancing, moving, participating, obviously from the skills that you learned as a early childhood.
Yeah. Well, taste is something that develops and you get better and better. But the great thing about what we do now is that you never stop learning. Your education is forever. And you can learn something from somebody that don't know nothing.
Very true.
In
If you listen.
hip-hop.
If you listen.
Yeah. If you pay attention and watch somebody make a mistake,
That's a lesson.
you can take that mistake, flip it right, and make that mistake not a mistake, and go with it. And the guy that made the mistake never knew what happened.
Never knew what happened. Listen, we're getting ready to go to break, but when we come back, I want to talk about, you know, where you grew up at. I want to talk about the people that you became connected to in the music business, and then start talking about when you was really out there playing at the clubs, you know, just before, you know, you kind of changed the world, you know, because there was, you know, everybody doesn't know that you were like one of the eminent DJs in the area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when we come back, family, friends, don't go anywhere. We're coming back, TFN special, hip hop special with the icon, the giant, the man, the myth, the legend, DJ Hollywood. We'll be right back.
Attention Marines and personnel of any branch of the armed forces and their families stationed at Camp Lejeune and contractors who worked at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune for 30 days or longer between August 1953 and December of 1987? For nearly 34 years, those on the Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow victims to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water.
Are you behind on your mortgage? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Are you considering trying to get a loan modification on your own? Did you know that less than 5% of people who tried on their own actually got a modification? At the Mortgage Modification Helpline, we know the rules and regulations banks don't want you to know about, and we've helped thousands of people stay in their homes. So call the Mortgage Modification Helpline today.
Please call 800-650-2047.
With funeral costs averaging over $10,000 and expected to be over $30,000 in 20 years, how can seniors pay for their funeral and not leave this debt to their families? Senior Life Insurance Company offers state-regulated life insurance plans to help cover your final expenses. Up to $30,000 in tax-free money. With plans around $12 a month, covering your final expenses has never been more affordable. This low rate is also locked in for life, and your coverage amount will never decrease. You also cannot be turned down for any health reason. You could qualify for full coverage from day one even if you have many common health issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, or arthritis. This is all done with no medical exam. Senior Life is now enrolling people for this important benefit, so call the number for free information. Don't miss this opportunity for free information on your available benefits. Make the free call now.
And we are back. Total Faith family, I am so excited once again with my guest in the house, the man, the father of hip hop, DJ Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, my friend, you know, before we went to break, you know, you was telling us about, you know, your passion growing up as a child. Talking about, where were you born?
Harlem.
Okay.
I was born in a hospital in the Bronx, but my mother was from Harlem. So
Okay, okay.
as soon as we left the hospital, that's where we went.
Harlem World.
Harlem.
And talking about that rise up in Harlem, playing your music. Now you're a little older now. You're your teens. You're a young man. Talk to me about that.
I come up in the time when there were a lot of places for a kid to go after school. Every school had an after-school program. And you had the YMCA, you had the bathhouse, you had Boys Club, you had all these places where you could go. You had Menacink, you had the Order of the Feather. You had so many places for a young man to get skills and become groomed.
Okay, okay.
And manners, respect, were the total package of what we were raised on. I knew if I talked back to my mother, I would be looking up at the sky trying to find out how I got there.
Mamas don't play. Mamas don't play.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Old school.
The respect that you had to have just being a kid was way different from how today's laws are.
So would you say you're being raised in that kind of scenario helped you in your future endeavors when it came to actually going out there and
well, it gave me attitude.
Okay.
It gave me choices. It gave me a way of looking at life from a lot of different scopes. Because I went to Sunday school. I did all of those type of things.
Okay.
And my mother, she was a single parent, raising us the best she could. And I learned to go to the date shop or the garden market. Those were the supermarkets at the time.
Okay.
A&P.
A&P.
I
remember A&P.
I learned to go to those spots and push bags, pack bags, carry people's stuff to their house and drop off and get a little tip, so that I could have a pair.
So you was a
Converse.
Up and coming entrepreneur already.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm saying you had to because my mother couldn't afford it.
Got you.
And what I wanted was what I wanted.
Okay. So tell me when did you transition into being the DJ?
Well, we had a singing group.
Okay.
And
what was it called?
The Innovations,
Innovations,
which means a new idea.
Okay.
And we were having rehearsals, and everybody, we started to grow. People started liking the group, and we were moving along. And the usual, typical thing of responsibility steps in, and that's when you find out where you're at.
Yeah. What do you mean when you say responsibility?
Responsibility.
Personal,
you got to make the rehearsal.
Got you.
And
Accountability.
not only make it there, you got to be on time.
Yes.
Because you only got X amount of times to do whatever it is you're going to do, and then you got to get out. I'm sitting in rehearsal. We had a microphone plugged into a guitar amp. That's what we used to rehearse with. And I'm sitting there, and nobody showed up to rehearsal.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there while I'm doing
By
that.
yourself.
I'm listening to the radio.
Okay. Who you listening to at the time?
Frankie Crocker.
Of course. From where?
Yeah, WWRL.
Oh,
WWRL.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the station before the station.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The quality of what the radio jocks were doing then at that particular time wasn't really like rapping to the flow, but they were rapping to set up the song.
Got you.
So I started out like, if I was snow, I would be cold. If I was a jug of wine, I would be old. But since none of this is true, I'm right here with you, passing the time with the baddest jams I could find. You know what I'm saying? Those type of little slogan, those little slogan type things set in for me. And being that I'm rehearsing a song, all of a sudden, everything I said, I sung it.
Yes.
Instead of just saying it, I sung it.
Yes.
Like, ooh, now you're feeling good. You're rocking to the rhythm, it's Hollywood. Jumping on the table, jumping on the mic, doing the things that the young girls like. Everybody in the house, if you're ready to go, pick up on my stereo. And
wow.
that energy I was able to push that to the wire. Now, other jocks at that particular time, Pete DJ Jones,
Yeah, talk to me about it.
Grandmaster Flowers.
Okay, Flowers, yes, yes.
These are the premier DJs of that time. Riff and Cliff. Man Boyer.
Yes.
Man, it was so many
Yes.
cats. They got all the work in New York. I was playing in an after-hour spot. So I had a mixer with no headphone.
No headphones.
And it was a mic mixer. And I was setting it up good with that, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew what I had, and I also knew what I had to do. When I went to a place called Charles Gallery,
Okay.
it was a discotheque.
Discotheque.
A real club.
This real club.
Yeah, this is a discotheque. And it was on 125th Street.
Okay.
And
Harlem
they
World.
had that suit and tie fly clientele.
Okay.
Okay, they didn't even allow you in the spot if you ain't had on the jacket.
You wasn't coming in.
Yeah, you had to go to the next spot.
How old were you then?
I was like 14,
Wow, dude.
you know, but I lived in the street.
You in the streets.
You know, I ran away from home when I was 14.
And everybody knew you. Knew about your skills.
Yeah. So coming up in there, I had game at 14. You know what I'm saying? Because in New York, when you're a kid, and if you're not doing school and you're not doing the things that a kid should be doing, the hustle game is crazy.
Yeah. True.
But you're not involved. You're riding the sideline.
Okay, I understand.
So I knew I could take my hustle to the point of, yo, man, what you need?
And you would just be like the connector. You wouldn't actually be the holder.
Right.
But you
No,
just
no.
put
But
one and
I'm
one
saying
together.
well, my hustle was what you need. I got you.
Okay.
Yo, I need some cigarettes. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
Yo, man, I need some chewing gum. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
As it got late, I never went home.
Gotcha.
You know, I had me a little makeshift spot in the basement.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
At the
I-
club?
No, in the basement of a
in the-
building.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I, made my stuff up so I could get some sleep at night if I want to go to sleep.
Gotcha.
And in the summertime, I slept on the roof. You know what I'm saying? The fear of life wasn't like now.
It isn't.
You know what I'm saying? The quality of life is lived way different. You don't have to be afraid of everything. And everybody, believe it or not, ain't out to get you.
That's true. Hold on. I want you to hold on to that thought because I want to really get into that point where you're playing the clubs and you're doing the things that you do. And then I want to talk about some of your influences of what you do and what you see. And then talk about, some stuff of recent. There's so much that has been going on in the news, and we can talk about that as well.
Whatever.
Listen, friend of family, you hear from the man, the icon, the myth, the legend, DJ Hollywood. This is where it started, the father of hip hop. Do not go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. I'll say it again. Do not go anywhere. And if you want to see more of TFN, want to see more of me, go to www.tfn.com. Hear all the news, see what we're doing, see how we're making, see how we're moving. We'll be right back.
Are you behind on your mortgage? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your house underwater because you owe more than it's worth? Are you considering trying to get a loan modification on your own? Did you know that less than 5% of people who tried on their own actually got a modification? At the Mortgage Modification Helpline, we know the rules and regulations banks don't want you to know about. And we've helped thousands of people stay in their homes. Are you struggling to keep up? Are you past due on your mortgage? If so, we can help. It doesn't matter if you have bad credit, been turned down, or if you're currently getting the runaround from your lender. The call and consultation is free, and it only takes a few minutes to find out if we can help. So call the Mortgage Modification Helpline today, and let's get your loan modified into one you can afford.
Please call 800-650-2047. That is 800-650-2047.
Attention Marines and personnel of any branch of the armed forces and their families stationed at Camp Lejeune and contractors who worked at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune for 30 days or longer between August 1953 and December of 1987? For nearly 34 years, those on the Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. Until now, North Carolina's procedural laws had prevented victims from getting justice if more than 10 years had passed since their toxic exposure. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow victims to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. If you or a loved one got sick after exposure to contaminated drinking water at Camp Lejeune, you need the right legal team that has the experience, support staff, and resources to seek the maximum compensation for your injuries. Call Camp Lejeune Advocates now for a free consultation and case review.
Please call 800-364-6420.
And we are back, family and friends, with the mighty DJ Hollywood. Before we went to break, we were talking about, how life and how you did the things that you needed to do as you were growing up. How did it cultivate you into, getting into those clubs and being that DJ that you eventually became?
Personality. Being me has been one of the hardest things I think anybody could do, because it ain't easy being me.
Break it down to him. Break it down.
I have went through stages, I have walked through doors that other cats in my caliber couldn't do. And I don't know if that's just luck or I am possessed by the God of my desires.
Amen.
Because I've been in some spots, I've been in some tight squeezes, I've been in some of everything, and I managed to go through it and come out unscathed.
Talk to us about those spots. When those moments where you were feeling like, did I make the right decision, or is this you know what I mean?
Well, I know of one real crazy moment where I definitely didn't make the right decision. I was getting high and I was smoking crack. I guess that's what, but it was freebase before it was crack.
Okay.
And a dude ran up in the building on me. I'm in an abandoned building.
Okay.
So now he runs up in the building. I'm not even thinking in terms of, if this dude blasts me in the building, it'll be days before anybody finds me, because when people hear gunshots, they don't run. They just be like, oh man, somebody's shooting. You know what I mean? He ran up, cocked the MAC-10, and I'm smoking. So now you're interrupting my high, which was bigger than you gonna kill me.
Wow.
So I'm not sitting there fearing for my life. I'm sitting there like, man, you are messing up my high. What is that? Listen, I seen you rob those people. That was like a month ago.
Wow, wait a minute, he was coming to you for something that you did a month ago.
He was just cleaning up all the things that he had done wrong, and he had just left 136th Street murdering somebody.
Wow.
And I guess I was next on that line. And he ran up in the building, cocked his man, and I told him, I'm like, I'm smoking. I smoke. He runs up.
Yeah.
I blow out a big cloud of smoke. I can hardly see this guy with the smoke coming out. Now, I know he cocked the MAC-10, though.
Yeah, you heard that.
And I'm like, yo, man.
So how did you get out of it? What was...
Just by saying what I said. See, I think if I would have said, oh, God, please don't kill me, he would have murdered me. But because I'm not paying that episode no mind at all, because that's not what I'm worried about. I ain't even worried about you killing me. I'm worried about you messing up this high that I just hustled up. Now I got to go do this all over again.
So that was a moment in time that really...
That's where God walks in the room.
Talk to me. Talk to me about that.
That's where God walks in the room and say, yo, Hollywood, don't worry about that. I got you. And I went into my thing, my part of the story, and it just nullified his thoughts. His thoughts came down. He uncocked the gun, said, yo, man, watch your back. What am I going to do?
Did you learn the
I'm no
lesson?
killer. I'm no gangster.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, if I wasn't high,
You probably, if you'd said, "Oh my God, oh my,"
I would have
boom,
probably started begging for my life.
and he would have shot you.
He probably would have.
What was the lesson that you learned?
The lesson I learned is no matter what, be yourself. I've been down a lot of roads, and because I learned to be myself, I have always rose above whatever the situation is. You know what I'm saying? It's not by chance that I come to this degree in the road. It's by I'm in the road. That's why it's happened.
Gotcha.
If I wasn't there, it don't
It
happen.
won't happen.
You understand what I'm saying? Coming to the rap portion of what's being done, we all know rap comes from like the 30s and 40s. You had
Who'd you have?
gospel rappers. You had Pig Meat Markham,
Yes.
Rudy Ray Moore, Last Poets,
Yep.
Watts
Gil Scott
Brothers,
Heron.
Gil Scott. You had a million rappers, but none of them rapped to the turntable.
To the turntable.
So rap kind of like faded out. It was still around, lingering. You had Isaac Hayes still in the Hot Buttered Soul. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the rap was lingering, but it wasn't like a syncopated type of situation on a merit other than Pig Meat and Jocko.
Well, listen, my friend. I want you. We're gonna stop right there. We're getting ready to take our break, but more importantly, you're coming back. You are our invited special guest. So we're gonna do a whole nother segment when we're gonna talk about that piece when you change time and help make a lot of young brothers today millionaires. Because what you did was lay the foundation of what we're doing now.
Wow.
Because of you, I got into emceeing.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I heard your tapes.
Right,
I
okay.
listened to your tapes.
Yeah, my first tape
Love
was
is
on
the message.
A-Track.
Love is the message, man. I don't know who recorded it, but that's a historic tape right there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm telling you, that changed my life. So family, friends, listen. You've heard it from the man. You've heard his message. You heard, what he believes in, but more importantly, you heard about how it all started. But don't go. You come back, tune back in. We're gonna have part 2 for this. We're coming back with part 2 of my man DJ Hollywood. We love you, TFN family. Listen, if you want to see more, I'm telling you, go to www.tfn.com. You can see what we're doing, how we're moving, how we're shaking. See every last one of all of our interviews, all of our guests. We love you. Don't you go anywhere. And please, please, please remember, with TFN, nobody loses. Everybody wins.
Worked pretty hard, but before I split, want to give you one reason why Hollywood's a hit. Right now, baby, in your neighborhood. I'll talk to you later. I'll be back. Good.
Mwah, mwah.